We have some fantastic, dynamic females, and I think we each kind of fuel each other and propel each other forward. One of our female attorneys, Sarah Washington, was honored among the National Black Lawyers Top 40 Under 40 in New York recently. We've had quite a few elevations of females to partner in this past year. We have women running practice groups here. I sit on the firm's management committee. So there's a definite commitment to developing our female attorneys here and also celebrating their successes.
As many people know, the legal industry it's a male-dominated industry, and in particular, it's a white male-dominated industry. So being a woman in this industry, especially a woman of color, it's been challenging. It's been challenging. I definitely feel like in many situations I'm breaking barriers that in 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, I shouldn't be breaking these barriers. I thought they were already down already.
Being a woman in the law, it tends to be that, there are times where you'll walk into a deposition and people won't believe that you're an attorney. They'll ask you, where your computer is because you must be the stenographer. They will ask you if you're lost when you enter a courtroom, even though you're wearing a suit and heels and have a file with you. Those are all things that have happened to me numerous times. And, there's constantly a question of why are you here?
As a woman in law, one of the things that can happen is I think there are still implicit biases and you can be underestimated, especially in court or with opposing counsel. I've definitely had opposing counsel call me sweetie, honey. It also could be me also being a young woman. And I've even had a judge call me shorty. So, little things like that can definitely, as a woman in the law, make you feel a bit underestimated, which isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes you can use it to your advantage. So it's better to be underestimated and prove them wrong, right?
As a woman in the legal profession I've always had to assume the role of educator, if you will. I've always somehow had to explain why I'm there. In other words, I've had to explain that I'm not the secretary, I'm not the court reporter, I'm not the interpreter, I'm not court personnel, that I am in fact the attorney, and that I can be the attorney of record for a case. I would love to have a week where I don't have to explain to someone who I am when I appear for an event, some legal event. At large, I'd love to see an equal representation of women in decision-making positions, in leadership positions, where you're not asking to be recognized, where you are recognized for your efforts and for your contributions on the day-to-day.
I just hope to see more presence, especially, as judges, as executives, top of the law firms, partners, executive committees, and things like that. I think once that becomes the norm, it's only going to help future attorneys and future women attorneys get to that same place.
In my ideal world, I would love for a woman lawyer to not be considered diverse or, a diversity hire or something like that. I would love for a woman lawyer to be considered the norm.
I hope we move to a place that is a place of, inclusivity and equality, and where, you walk in a room and despite your gender, race, etc., we're all just seen as people, and in our field, all just seen as lawyers. We all have that in common.